Systems of Nonlinear Equations, Part 4. Use the graphical method to find all solutions and solve the system of equations rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's start out. If we're using the graphical method, we need to solve each equation for y. That way we could put it into y equals in our calculator. Okay, so we'll start first out by subtracting over that x squared. I'm going to multiply everything by negative, and then I'm going to apply the square root. Remember, if I apply the square root, I apply plus or minus, and then here we have x squared minus 3. Okay, we don't have to do anything here. Notice that we should see what kind of graph. It's a quadratic, so we should see a parabola. Coefficient is positive, so we should see a parabola that opens up. So this is going to be y1, y2. y1 is the positive square root, y2 is the negative square root, and then this one is going to be y3, our x squared graph. Okay, so let's get this in our calculator. We're going to say y equals. We're going to clear out any old stuff from before. We're going to put in the new stuff from this problem. So we have the positive x squared. Positive x squared minus 3x. Then we're going to need a negative square root of x squared minus 3. And then we're going to need x squared minus 2x minus 8. Okay, so we'll do Zoom Standard. And there's our graph. Okay, so what we see here is the graph that looks like this. And then this is the graph that looks like this, all in one graph. Okay, so how many intersection points are we going to look for? We have one here, we have one here. So there's 2 solutions, 2 intersect points. And then we're going to probably have 2 here as well, 2 intersect points here. So 4 total, and our answers are rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay, so to get a better window, here we're going to go -5 to 5, just to see a little bit better what our graph looks like. There we go. Okay, so here again is where we want to really pay attention to what equation we're on. Okay, so we're going to say second, calculate, intersect. Okay, so second, calculate, intersect, first curve. If we look at, where's our cursor? There it is. Okay, so for our cursor, we're looking for that intersection point. So I want to be here and our x squared minus 2x minus 8 graph. I want to be here with our parabola. Okay, so first curve, I'm going to hit enter. Second curve is not our parabola, so I'm going to hit up arrow enough times. Now I'm at that parabola. I'm going to hit enter, and enter goes away, and there's our first intersection point. Now we're looking for our next intersection point, so we'll go ahead and move to our second intersection point. Okay, so we're going to hit second, calculate, intersect. We're going to move our cursor to that point of intersection. Let's see where we're at. There we are. Okay, so let's go for this one then, since we're over here. So this would be considered the first curve. I'm going to hit enter. When I look for the second curve, I want to be on the parabola. So that's what I want to make sure. Here we're at the square root of x squared minus 3. But for the other intersection point, we want to be on the parabola. So we're going to hit enter. I'm going to go up arrow till we're on the parabola. There we are. So now I can get to the point of intersection. Enter, enter, enter. Okay, second, calculate, option 5, intersection. This is the last intersection point that we found over here. Okay, so let's go with another one. So let's get, okay, so we don't want that one. So let's see. I want to go up arrow. There we go. Okay, so I want to be on this bottom curve and the parabola. Okay, so there's the bottom curve. I'm going to hit enter. There's the parabola. Got lucky on that one. We'll get close here. Enter, enter. Okay, so one more point to find. So I'm going to go up arrow. I want to be over here, so I'm going to up arrow until I can hopefully get to, nope, maybe we got to come over here more. Oops. Second, calc, intersection, first. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we could get over here. Maybe we could get over here. I know how, I'm getting stuck. Okay, so maybe we can move to the other side by being on the parabola. Okay, so we'll kind of trick the calculator a little bit. Okay, so this is the last one that we need to find. Okay, so there's my first curve, enter. Now I don't want to be up here on a different equation, so I'm going to hit down arrow. There it is. We're going to hit enter, enter, and there's our last point of intersection. Okay, so solutions, we have this solution here. For this solution here, we have, and we want it to 2 decimal places, negative 1.88, negative 0.7, negative 0.72. Okay, we have another intersection point here. That's going to be a negative 2.2. And then negative 2.2, 1.40 if we round properly, which is very important if you're using WebAssign. That would be this one here. Okay, so here's our intersection point here. And so that's going to be a 3.45 and a negative 2.99. And then this one, it didn't come out nicely, but if we look at this one here, that's our 4.65 for the x and 4.31 for the y. And we have our 4 intersection points.